much. The acrylic paint and the oil pastels, the art medium for our next guest is one that we've all picked up during our school days, a pencil.
That's right. Mark Breckwall, also known as the Pencil Guy, creates elaborate pieces with pencils. And you can see here famous pop stars that he's done in great detail, like Adele. And of course, as a sports fan, it is very cool to see how he also caught on to the Caitlin Clark craze. And Mark joins us now in studio to share more. Mark, welcome, and tell us, when did you get started doing art specifically with pencils?
So I like to joke that I was born with a pencil in my hand. And I was just one of those kids that when other kids were outside playing football and baseball, I was actually inside drawing images. I started out drawing a lot of superheroes when I was a little kid, but Batman, Spider-Man, and so on. And eventually my subject matter became more refined, and I was doing a lot of portraits. And I think the pencil is really kind of, I consider it the extension of my right hand. I've tried other mediums, I've tried painting, I've tried pen and inks, and none of them really took for whatever reason. Pencil is my comfort zone. It's the way that I feel like I produce my best art. And so I jokingly refer to myself as the pencil guy.
Well, we like it. And like you said about the detail that you can do in the pencil. And your subjects range from kind of abstract, and then you've got more traction with the celebrities. Where do you get your inspiration for the things you do?
So I get my inspiration when it's something that I'm doing for my own purposes. It either comes from an upcoming art show that I might have that has a theme to it. I did a show last year in St. Pete that was called Sueño con España, and so it was all a Spanish theme. And you can see a couple of pieces here that kind of deal with the Spanish theme. Otherwise, sometimes I'm inspired by images that I find online. And so what I do is I reach out to the photographer and say, hey, I'm this pencil guy from Tampa, Florida. I draw really photorealistic images. I think your photograph is absolutely beautiful. And I said, would you be okay with me doing that in my own style and then potentially selling it? About 9 out of 10 times, they're like, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see what you can do with it. And so I'm inspired by all different types of things. But typically, I draw people. I've had a couple of people ask me if they could draw, Fido or Miss Kitty. And I'm like, there's other people out there that do pet portraits. It's not my thing. But I have done commissions of loved ones that maybe are still with us or have passed on. I always consider that a great honor for them to trust me to capture that person's essence on paper.
That's awesome. And so tell me a little bit more about the process of how you make these, because again, I've used a pencil.
Yeah.
It does not come out like this. So tell me how you make this happen.
Yeah. So it starts out with just a really, really rough sketch, right? You just want to make sure you got the layout right. And then it's all a matter of refinement. The most common question I get asked is, how long did it take to do it? Let's say this piece right here with the guy with the bees on his face. That one actually took about 130 hours. And 130
hours?
130 hours. Because on that particular piece, I'm drawing every single whisker on his face, all the pores in his skin, and then halfway through I decided to add 78 bees to his face. So it takes a long time.
I think I would have chosen a clean-shaven person. That's incredible.
Right.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the ones that you have here, because do you find that you use a picture and then you add these other objects to it, or do you see something and you just meld the two pictures together?
That's a great question, Farron. I do both. Sometimes I replicate an image exactly from the photograph because some things can't be improved on, right? And I just really want to capture what that photographer captured and try to make it look as much like that photograph as possible. Other times I combine a number of images. Like the piece here you see with the man and the octopus tentacles, that's actually 6 different images that I combined to make that, to try to tell a story. The hand is actually my hand reaching out, a camera that was taken while I was laying down reaching out. And the rest of it, I just kind of put that all together. It's called The Drowning Man, and it kind of, I did it right while the COVID, the COVID pandemic was going on. And so we all felt like we were kind of drowning in something or other, anxiety or financial issues or health problems or whatever. And so a lot of times I will take images and combine them to try to tell kind of a narrative and give it more context.
Nice. I know we have this Alicia Keys one that you've done as well. Walk us through the process of that one.
So the thing about that picture is I loved her hair. Well, hair is one of the things I love drawing the most. And Alicia Keys. Okay, so there's the first one, right? I started with her face, and I just kind of did a general outline of the hair. The hair alone took about 3 days, so about 25 hours on drawing her hair, because you want to make sure you get all of the kind of like the highlights, the lowlights, and then I don't know if you can see it necessarily on camera, but every single little strand that's kind of like flying wild, I drew those with the finest tip pencil that I have. So yeah, there's a lot of images that I just picked because I like the hair so much.
Have you shown the artist what you've done? Because I know that we got a Bucks reporter here. You've done a Patrick Mahomes.
Yes,
and those
I
are
have.
fighting words
Yes,
out
I
here.
have. Yep.
Have you shown Patrick what you've done?
I always tag
I give
them
you props.
on it.
It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I used to live in Kansas City, so I'm a Chiefs fan.
That means I'll allow it. Grudgingly, I'll allow it.
I'm a Bucks fan in the NFC. I'm a Chiefs fan in the AFC, right?
Fair.
So
I'll let you slide.
absolutely. So, but Patrick is so charismatic. In addition to being an amazing quarterback, and his hair is amazing. I mean, like I said, sometimes I just pick images because of the hair. So I've drawn Patrick a couple times. I tagged him on it, but it was during football season. He's got bigger things to be concerned about than some guy in Tampa who's drawing an image of him. But I've actually had a lot of people that have wanted me to do prints of that because I have a lot of friends back in the Midwest that are big Chiefs fans, as you can imagine. And with those Super Bowl wins just piling up, it's fun to draw them. So maybe someday he'll see it and acknowledge it.
We're going to win the big game here in Tampa. We'll see what you're doing next.
All right.
And we need a Baker painting.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you today. And you can find more of his work on Instagram at Breckwald_art.
And up next, paying respect to our veterans in the most heartwarming way. Daytime will be right back.